Hello everyone, this is Aaron Fish from ATF Gaming and welcome back to NASCAR Heat 2. Today we have an Xfinity race at Pocono and then whatever's next. So, just want to clarify something. This week is an abnormally busy week for me, especially on the weekend. I have, for those of you who don't know, I work with a marching band and we have a football game on Friday and a competition on Saturday. So I will not be able to stream this weekend. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to make 3 episodes, and I'll put the 3rd episode up on Sunday instead of the stream VOD that we have been doing. So you'll still have more content, just won't be as much because I'm not going to stream this weekend. We'll be back to normal probably Fridays after that. It's still going to be a busy month for me, but I should be able to stream on Fridays. I had thought about streaming on Sundays, but with NASCAR being on Sundays, and plus Sunday are my recording day, so I'm just going to avoid streaming on Sunday. We're just going to have to not do a stream this weekend, so sorry about that, guys, for those of you who enjoy my streams, but we'll still have an extra episode to go along with it. But let's head off to Pocono here. We've had a fair amount of success at Pocono, so let's see if we can replicate that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you who tune into the streams. It's so fun to interact with some of you guys. And now that I got OBS working, I'm streaming on Twitch as well. ATF Gaming 19 on Twitch. So if you do have a Twitch account, feel free to go over there and follow ATF Gaming 19. Because ATF Gaming was taken, of course. So let's go ahead and qualify. I don't have high expectations for qualifying because this is a bigger track and we tend not to qualify too well at these bigger tracks. Now, as I briefly stated earlier, I record on Sundays, and I do know that the patch is supposed to come out sometime this week. So obviously I'm recording this week's videos before the patch. So if the patch does come out this week, then starting with next week's videos, I'll be having the patch. So I might be a little behind in that regard, but I know most YouTubers plan ahead like this. So when a patch randomly comes out in the middle, it's going to take a little while before we're fully immersed into the new patch. But like I said before, the patch does seem to fix key issues that I had, mainly the caution detection and the fact that rivalries tend to die down after time, which is good. Whoa, okay, drove it in a little too deep there. Yeah, we're probably not going to qualify very well here, unfortunately. But that's the nature of the beast. But I might be proven wrong. I've been surprised before at tracks like this. Gotta get used to turn 1 again. I messed up turn 1 both times. But let's see where we qualify. We qualify 13th. Alright. A, we're on the inside, and B, we're in the middle of the pack. Actually, we're in the top half of the pack, so that's definitely going to benefit us. And let's get started. No, don't turn the mirror off. There we go. Alright, short stages, I assume. Well, pressing all the wrong buttons. Yep, 2 lap stages. So, if we want to get stage points, we're going to have to be pretty aggressive. We gotta remember the people who are level 4 pissed off at us, Cole Custer, William Byron, Ray Black Jr. There might have been somebody else. Wasn't really paying attention at the end of the last stream. But yeah, sorry for no stream this weekend. This will be like the last completely busy weekend I have. Again, marching band season's really kind of taken away from my weekend time. This previous weekend actually was completely free. which was nice. But in the next 3 weekends, definitely are going to be busy. But I should be able to stream on Fridays after this week, obviously. Alright, 1 lap to go on the stage. We're actually going to make a move on 3rd place. Brendan Gaughan here. Overdrove turn 1 again, but it looks like we're going to recover. I don't think we're going to be able to get to Suarez and Byron, but we'll give it a shot. So I just finished watching the Talladega race. Opinions on Talladega race. It was a wreck. Well, I don't want to call it a wreck fest because it was really one big wreck that took out 20 cars. And then there were a couple minor wrecks that took out 2 or 3 cars each time, and that left us with about 8 cars on the lead lap. Maybe more, but man, I was really pulling for Junior. But it seemed like he got damage on that last wreck that just caused him not to go anywhere. So, unfortunate for him. I'm glad that the Junior Tribute car did win, though. We cannot make it here, so we'll just wait until the end of stage 2. I'm happy a Junior Tribute car with Brad Keselowski won. But if you guys know me, you know I like to root for the underdog, the guy who not normally racing well. So obviously Junior falls in that category. Ryan Newman was up there. Trevor Bayne, after a couple wrecks, was up there. But meanwhile, we got a huge start. Got a really good launch. I messed up turn 1 again. I really got to figure out what I'm doing in turn 1 that's causing me to be so tight in the middle. I don't think it's overdriving too much, but maybe I should just loosen the car up at the pit stop. But yeah, the fact that there were only like 8 cars on the lead lap at the end of the race is quite ridiculous in my mind, but that's the nature of plate racing. Plate racing isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so just gonna have to get used to it. I love how the big wreck was started by the one and only guy who in the field who didn't have to worry about anything, Martin Truex Jr. I just love how he was the one that caused all this. Alright, broke a little bit. Yeah, we're still tight in the center, but it works. We're pulling away. This is the last lap of stage 2, so hopefully we can pull off a stage win, get that playoff point. My goal is to rack up as many playoff points as possible so that we can pretty much coast through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, so we can have an easy chance at the Final 4. Be nice to win this championship this year so that we can just focus on Cup next season. And then the season after that, if we win the Cup championship, we can try to win all 3. Alright, that's the end of stage 2. We win. We get 10 points and 1 playoff point. We will be pitting now. Right side. 1 can, right side. No repair. Sure, we'll lose a couple spots. Not too many. But we are on the outside. But I think we're fast enough to where it won't make a difference. At the patented NASCAR heat. 4 wide restarts. Looks like we might have to make it 3 wide here. Because we get such a... Okay, Sadler, really? Alright. He shouldn't be mad at me. He might be after this race, but he shouldn't have any reason to run me into the wall. I'm just going to give you a little shove here. Thanks a lot. Oh, this is not a position I want to be in. Going to the tunnel turn, I'm going to lift. But I didn't lift enough because these guys are so freaking slow. Well, now we got our work cut out for us. I lifted so much more than I normally would in that corner. And they were just so freaking slow. Well, I'm glad that this is the 3rd stage because we actually have a little bit of time to make up this disaster right here, but not much. Especially since the high line, nobody seems to want to give a crap about me being on the high line. We're gonna force our way through here, unfortunately. There's Cole. No, that's not. That's Harvick. Sorry. I'm surprised Harvick hasn't gotten too mad at me recently. Because he's tweeted at us a couple times, but he was not in the level 4 pissed off zone the last time I recall. Oh, that's the grass. Oh, luckily I saved it. That was the grass, though. Well, thanks. Well, I guess that was mostly my fault, but Elliott Sadler was being super slow. But thanks, Elliott Sadler, I guess we'll say. This is turning into a more competitive race than I previously anticipated, and I mess up turn 1 again. But again, it doesn't seem to hurt us too much, because we are going in a lot faster, and we seem to have a really good exit launch. So it doesn't really hurt us too bad. It just hurts us when we're underneath the car. Amarola, give me room, please. Nobody in this series seems to give a crap about me being anywhere near them. Which is frustrating, but realistic. Should get a good run on Reddick, get underneath him, maybe even get a run on Kane. But yeah, we might be struggling just to get a top 10 now. Alright, let's actually not overdrive the corner this time. Alright, that was a good corner. That was a good corner. Let's try to get a draft on Dylan, get a run on him going into a tunnel turn, which we do. He almost tried to get into me there. I overdrove the corner, of course. Which means we're not going to have a shot at him going into this turn either. Yep, just one mistake, especially in the tunnel turn, because it's such a fast turn. One mistake will really kill you. Alright, we're going to get a run going in turn 1 here. I hopefully clear him in case if I screw it up, which we do. But let's try to not screw it up anyway. Which we successfully did. I mean, we might have a shot at a top 10. A win might be out of the cards now, but definitely top 10's possible. Oh, we got into Jones there a little bit. I thought we had plenty of room. But we didn't. Because I'm an idiot. But that's not new information to any of you, I'm sure. Oh man, I didn't get back into the gas quick enough apparently. 2 laps to go here? Yep. Should be able to get around Reed, maybe get a run at Clementson. Is that Blake Cook or Brandon Jones? Brandon Jones. From the back, those 2 cars look very similar. Give Jones a little shove, get around Jeremy Clements. Get a run on Jones going into the tunnel turn, but there's Sadler. I really don't want to be 3 wide going into the tunnel turn, but we have such a head of steam that we are. Got into Gone a little bit. Good run by Brendan Gaughan at Talladega until Kevin Harvick decided to just run into the back of him and shove him straight into a spinning Ryan Blaney, which I think was just a stupid move on Harvick's part. He was already wrecked. So, but Harvick makes a lot of stupid decisions at restricted plate tracks, it seems like. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Smithfield Foods. Go get a run on Gone for a top 5, but unless if those 4 cars up ahead get in a wreck, this is probably as high as we're going to get. Which is frustrating considering we completely dominated the second stage. But it looks like they're not being too competitive, so it does look like a 5th place finish is in order here. But 5th place it is. I'll take it after that horrible restart to the 3rd stage. I'll take it. Somehow we got a new record speed rating out of that. I don't know how. Blake Cook wins. That might be his first win of the season. I'm not sure. But a 5th place finish. Again, money doesn't really matter at this point in time. We'll head back to the menu. We actually moved up a spot in points. We were 6th. So we moved up ahead of Eric Jones. We did get that stage win, so that is 1 playoff point. But we still got a ways to go if we're going to catch that regular season championship. It was Blake Cook's first win of the season, by the way, so good for him. He's somebody who I think is deserving of getting a win in real life and in the game. But let's see what we have next. We did meet our incentive requirements. Of course, we have a doubleheader weekend at Michigan, my home track. Alright, so we're going to do the Xfinity race in this episode, then we'll put the Cup race in the next episode. Just the way things fall, I don't really have enough time to do 3 race episodes, especially with a Cup race in there, so we'll have to do the Cup race in the next episode, but we still have this Xfinity race to do. See if we can do better. Michigan's a lot wider track, so I think we'll be fine. Even if we do qualify in the back, we can just ride the high line and get around everybody. These loading screens seem to take a lot longer these days. I don't know why. But let's head off to qualifying, see what we can do here. But yeah, overall, good race for the most part. Obviously, red flags made the race take forever, but that's par for the course for Talladega. I have the people running up front. Keselowski probably wouldn't have been the one I wanted to win, but again, he was doing the junior patriotic scheme. A good job to Governor Ivey of Alabama for declaring it statewide Dale Jr. Day. Glad she recognized the importance of that. I might be wrong, but she might be one of the first female governors of Alabama. She took over after there was a scandal with the previous governor. So she took over, she was the lieutenant governor, and she took over. Fairly recently, it was, must have been around July or something, maybe June. I can't quite exactly remember what the scandal was, but I do remember, kind of the fallout of it, but I'm not going to get into politics too much here. You guys know I'm a political science minor, so I do tend to follow these things. 27th. Alright. Got our work cut out for us if we want to get stage points. But let's see what we can do. We got Logano right in front of us. We got a couple Fords right here. We're actually going to go on the apron and get underneath Logano. Might even get a run on Kennedy here. Yeah, we get good restarts, but once we hit 4th gear, it kind of stalls out a little bit. But it's still pretty darn good. Get around Bubba and Brennan Poole. Might even get a run on Harvick here. Have to use the apron to do it, but I'll take it. There's Cole Custer. He doesn't seem mad at me, so I haven't pissed him off yet. Enough yet, anyway. I pissed him off enough to get a level 4, but not a level 5 retaliation pissed off. There's last week's winner, Blake Cook. Thought I could make it 3 wide, but got into him instead. I have to make it 3 wide on the outside, most likely going into this corner, because they're just really in the way of progress right now. Again, 2 lap stages, a bigger track, shorter stages. But unless if we get a huge run here, Doesn't look like we're going to get stage points in this stage, but hopefully set us up for a good... Oh, crap. Well, crap. I forced myself into a situation that I probably shouldn't have been in. That's my fault. But we do have to come in for repairs. This might put us ahead on a strategy, who knows. But we have to come in for repairs. We're the only one that comes in, so back to square one. Ray Black Jr., he was level 4 pissed off, so we gotta be careful not to get into him. Oh, the inside line stopping. Who's that? That is Darrell Wallace, teammate Darrell Wallace. Carl Long. Okay, I avoided him, but... Oh, everybody avoided him. Good job, everybody. This stage is actually a little longer, 3 laps. But now we have gapped ourselves from the rest of the field here. Darrell Wallace held up the bottom lane on that restart, so I'm glad I wasn't on the bottom. But then Carl Long was just a complete roadblock to me, and I had to rectify that situation. Which is sad, because I was doing really well with Carl Long at Talladega. In the stream, we were working together for a little while. Again, doesn't look like we're going to get stage points, which is going to hurt our regular season points total, unfortunately. But A, when we qualify that badly, and B, when we have a wreck, that's what you're going to get. Alright, we're going to go on the outside of Chastain, hopefully. Maybe not. We should get a run off, though. 1 lap to go on the stage this time by. Again, stage points pretty much out of the question, but at least set ourselves up for a good position going into the pits. There's Cole Custer. Oh, that's Harrison Rhodes into the wall, and that's a caution. Alright, that not exactly what I wanted. Oh, let's see. Right side tires, 1 can of fuel. That should be enough to go to the end. We might gain some... Nope. Wait. What? Was I good? Does everybody have to pit? We might have been... We would have been good, but we pitted at the end of stage 1. So, what's the strategy here with the other, you know... Whoa, we're stopped. And there's no caution for that, of course. Well, if we can at least stay out... There is some fuel strategy being played here, I think. Because it certainly looked like that the rest of the field has to come in. So we could have made it... since we pitted at the end of stage 1, but we were the only people who pitted at the end of stage 1. Alright, who was it that caused all this misery for us? That looks like Ryan Sieg. Oh no, Harrison Rhodes. Of course, he caused... Why did he stay out? He wrecked to end stage 2. But we unfortunately have aero damage, we have some engine damage. Luckily our radiator didn't get too damaged. We got 14% engine damage, so we are a little underpowered. And we're 3rd aero damage, so let's just try to stay out and pick up as many positions as we can once the pit stop strategy starts sorting itself out, as I believe it should, because we're definitely not fast enough to make any passes otherwise. That's frustrating. That's very frustrating. But like I said, we just gotta hold out and see what the pit strategy looks like. Because I'm convinced that they can't make it to the end. Does look like some people are coming in now. About 10 cars, it looks like. So we'll gain a few positions here. Hopefully we have enough time on the people who pit so that the engine issues, I don't know why I let off there, I don't need to let off. So hopefully the engine issues don't hinder us too much. Obviously we're not going to win this thing, but there were like 4 or 5 people who pitted with us, so I think we're on the right strategy here. Again, why did I let off? We're underpowered right now. There's no need to let off. If more people come down this time, looks like again about 8 or 10 cars came in. That actually looks like some of the leaders, Suarez and Keselowski. We'll see how much of a gap we can put on them. Because we're already up to 18th. So we're just going to ride it out here, see what happens. Looks like about 5 or 6 cars came in that time as well. Brendan Gaughan, the leader of that group. That's the apron. We're up to 12th now. Still waiting on about 5 or 6 cars to pit. I know we can get a top 10 out of this. Top 5 might be a stretch. I think there are 4 or 5 cars that pitted with us, so we might be able to get a top 5 depending on how the numbers work out. Again, why did I let off? I keep being faked out by the fact that I think I need to be letting up. Looks like 5 cars came in that time. We've still got a couple cars that I think need to pit, but this actually might be what we got here. Which is unfortunate, but considering we were involved in 2 pretty big wrecks, the fact that we are in 8th place right now is pretty darn good. Luckily we put ourselves in position with fuel mileage. And it does look like 4 more cars are on pit road now. So we actually are in the top 5. So we might actually get our sponsorship objective. This is a white flag. Assuming that we don't mess this up, which is completely possible. And I almost did. But we got a nice gap. Looks like Clements, Allgaier, and a couple other guys. I think Sadler was back there as well. Got the right strategy. As well as us. They've already crossed the finish line. Us with a damaged and underpowered car, thanks to pit strategy, is going to finish 5th. Continuing our sponsorship, or not sponsorship, our contract incentive. Our incentive contract, I mixed words there. Sadler won, yeah. So Sadler, Jones, Allgaier, those are guys who are up front in the point standing, so this probably isn't going to help us too much in that regard. But there's more money, and we actually dropped because Jones finished better than us. Head back to the menu and call it an episode. Sorry if you just heard my stomach rumbling. I haven't been feeling too hot recently. But yeah, cup race for Roush Fenway. Oh, with our sponsor, Advocare. So that's what we will have looking forward to us in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content from ATF Gaming, be sure to hit that red subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.